river. See corn on the meadow, blueberry jelly on the vine. There's a little country church that brings me closer to my Savior. Little bit of heaven, a whole lot of love left behind. So put a candle in the window, let it set your heart aglow.
Good morning and rise and shine, and how are you today? Nice day. Did you have a good weekend? I hope you did. This is Dick Shoemaker coming to you from your neighborhood network, Channel 12, Cable 12. And we are glad to be here. If you're not out yet, it's pretty nice out. Yep, just jacket weather. Well, a little bit chillier this morning, but not bad. Excuse me. Got a frog in my throat. The weather report that I picked up over the weekends indicated that we were going to have some 60-degree weather for a couple more days and maybe drop a little and then more 60-degree weather. I don't know. We'll see what Jamie says. I'm anxious to hear and see. We've got the town of Rocky Mount coming in today, and Mr. Andre Perry is coming in to talk about some business, and hope that you will be happy to hear from all of those folks. Did you have a good weekend? We did. We've got family in, 3 grandchildren and daughter, and they're up from Tennessee, and went to church with everybody yesterday. They were up there, and they had a good time, and went to Sunday school and played around outside. I think this is the year that possibly we can get Wyatt, their little brother, down here for a minute one morning. I'm going to try to do that Wednesday or Friday. They come up from Tennessee, and it's Lily, Libby, and Wyatt, and we have such a good time. And we get to see Jenny and all of the people here, because Jenny and Stephanie are sisters, and they want to spend every bit of time they can together. So that's nice. We're doing fine, having a good time. Hope that you are too. To start the show, though, I wanted to read something from Revelation, and I found something. And it's a story, a sports story, baseball story about Kevin Kouzmanoff. Now, is that a regular, everyday word, a name you know? Don't know. Cleveland Indians. Kevin Kouzmanoff played for the Indians. Casey Blake played for the Indians. And it was in 2006 they became teammates. Kouzmanoff was called up to the Indians from their AAA team in Buffalo. Only hours after reporting, he was playing, batting 7th in place of the designated hitter who was injured. He stepped into a first inning, bases-loaded situation, a rookie. The team was cheering, the team was yelling, "Come on, this is your first time. Bases are loaded. You know, let's get some runs in. Let's get some runs." You know, the usual kind of talk to cheer the team on. Excuse me. And he was filling in for the DH, the designated hitter. Now, the designated hitter that year hit 6 home runs with the bases loaded. 6 grand slams. So this fella comes up, and the first pitch to him, you know it, center field home run. So his first at-bat in the major leagues, he hits a home run with the bases loaded. The pitcher was Edison Volquez, and he was the third player in Major League history to hit a grand slam in his initial at-bat, but the only one to accomplish it in the first pitch he saw. And you know, the comment was made when he hit back in the dugout. They called him Kuz. His name was Kuzmanov. Kuz, it's not that easy up here every day. But isn't that true of life? For every high, it seems there's at least a low, a health scare, broken relationship, something that doesn't work. You know how that goes. But you go through it because you go through many hardships to enter the kingdom of God, as Paul and Barnabas told the Christians in Asia Minor in Acts. Well, I pulled out something here. When life gets hard, think of the benefits of heaven, stay true to yourself, and consider Revelations 2:10. Do not be afraid of what you are about to suffer. Be faithful even to the point of death, and I will give you life as your victor's crown. Revelation 2:10. So I found a baseball story to match up with that, and I'm glad I did. That's kind of neat. Wow. All right. I'm looking at the front page of the newspaper. The first thing I picked up, the upper right-hand corner says green eggs and ham. Well, guess what? They had green eggs and ham at Firm Elementary, Read Across America Week. And there's a couple of them sitting there eating. I see one little boy's putting it in his mouth green. Let's see. Green eggs and ham. Let's see who they are. Tanner Clyde, Tyler Honaker. They are sitting there eating green eggs and ham. They both look reasonably happy with it, but it takes a little bit more. Ferrum College softball team opens USA South Conference play with a doubleheader sweep over Covenant, Georgia. And the lacrosse team dropped a game to Elizabethtown. So that was across the top. The main story, the headlines, is about Raleigh McDaniel of Rocky Mount. He is a jigsaw puzzle expert. He has his largest puzzle. Now, this is not only being an expert in a jigsaw, an expert at puzzles, but if you consider one, well, I guess a big one is 6,000, 8,000. Well, he put together the largest one, an 18,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, and you look at it in the paper. The large box that, when it came, had 4 bags, each one containing about 4,600 puzzle pieces. Mr. McDaniel, he's a man my age. I envy him. I don't have the patience to do that. I usually enjoyed puzzles, but wow. He has a system, a plan. But isn't that perfect? That's the way we all should have everything. That puzzle was 9 feet wide and 6 feet 4 inches tall. That is really something. Congratulations, sir. That is neat. Ferrum College advertises on the front page. They're going to offer oxen driving workshops. What will you think of next? There's a picture. Hands-on workshops at the Blue Ridge Institute and Farm Museum. Don't forget the Blue Ridge Institute and Farm Museum is there. If you haven't seen it before, get up there. Ferrum College. Ferrum College, a beautiful campus, beautiful leaders, beautiful children, youngsters, students. Some of them not so young, but great place, and participate. This summer, Ferrum College will bring together ox enthusiasts for a weekend of hands-on workshops. That's June 12th and 14th at their Living History Museum. Wow. Congratulations to Aspen Black. Ms. Black releases a new cowgirl poetry CD. It's called Invisibility. And I'm looking at a picture of, I guess that must be the cover. Looks like it might have been taken out in the barn. Picture of Aspen. A new cowgirl poetry CD. She's getting a lot of airtime. She's a Western Music Association recording artist who writes and performs in the contemporary Western traditional country folk, Christian, and cowgirl poetry genres. 12 original poems, all written by Black. A poetry CD. Wow. Congratulations, Aspen. Somebody that every time I see her, she smiles. That's neat. Oh no, she's not smiling at me, but she's just happy. She's comfortable, and that's neat. Okay, take a look at it, if you can. See, on the Smith Mountain Lake, what do they have sent? They sent their newsletter over. Let's just take a look. They're asking for some help for the Smith Mountain Lake Invitational Golf Tournament, the Wine Festival, Smith Mountain Lake Business Expo, Rockin' Brews and Barbecues. Watch for those. Those are big events up there. Go to them. You'll have a good time. They need some help. They're also looking for Connect SML. That's a good thing. Grand opening of the Rocky Mount branch of the Smith Mountain Lake Chamber is Thursday, March 11th. Now, that's this week. That was postponed because of weather. Let's see, today is the 9th, 9, 10, 11. Somebody got to check a calendar for me. The grand opening of the Rocky Mount branch is Thursday, March 11th. Okay, that's what it says. Today is Monday, March 9th. That makes Wednesday, the 11th. Their email says at 10:15, 10 o'clock in the morning, Thursday, March 11th. Whew. Somebody from the chamber picks this up, please give me a call. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. A tour of the new facility. This is a big deal. This is important. This is the grand opening. It'll be a festive affair. There'll be snacks. There'll be things, people to meet and talk to in the Pendleton Nonprofit Center on South Main Street, across from the hospital, the emergency room. There is a big deal going on. Now, today is Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday, the next day is Wednesday. That's the 11th. It says Thursday, March 11th. If anybody picks up on this again from the chamber, I need to hear what the correct timing is. I'm not sure now. Because I bet it is Wednesday, and they just put Thursday, because the next story says, welcome East Lake Restaurant Thursday, March 12th from 11:30 to 1. Ribbon cutting. That's at Hendricks Store Road in Manita. Food and drink will be offered. So, one might say that you can assume from that they do acknowledge that Thursday is the 12th. It just can't be the 11th. So we're going to say that Thursday is wrong, that it is the Wednesday. All right. I'm going to cross it off, put Wednesday. If anybody's listening from the chamber, confirm that for me, please. All right. So, but the point of it is, they've got the grand opening, the ceremony, the ribbon cutting. taking place in Rocky Mount for the new Chamber of Commerce office that is up and running right on South Main Street, across from the hospital in the Pendleton Center, place that they found the interesting basement that they opened up recently. Okay, there's a business expo in April on the 24th. There's a Rockin' Brews and Barbecues the next day on the 25th. There's a lot of things happening out there. First of the year, it's kind of quiet, but then it gets rolling, so be prepared. Well, I'm answering my question here. And the other part of the report I've got, March 11th, Rocky Mount Chamber. That's Wednesday. I think I got my answer. Depends on which part of this report from them you read. Okay. What else is going on? That's it. But that's a good way to start. A lot of things happening. Upcoming networking, March 11th, Rocky Mount Chamber Branch. March 16th, a function at Blinds and Beyond. March 26th, El Torino Mexican Grill. March 19th, Bedford Landings. A lot of things happening. Get with it and be involved out there. Come enjoy it. All right. Got a note from the chamber in town. They're a vote for bootleggers. Now there's a contest going on, and Tara Holland sent this to me, and we got to read through that a little. Bootleggers Cafe competes in statewide Virginia for Lovers Culinary Challenge. The restaurant's double smoked fatty is up against entrees from throughout the state. Best wishes, 32 entries, 32 entries competing for the championship title. It's a dish that is a local ground beef, pork, and veal wrapped in applewood smoked bacon, stuffed with house-smoked pulled pork, cheddar, and jack cheeses, onions, and homemade pickled peppers, and then tomato gravy over it, along with potatoes and beans. Now, it's just breakfast time, but that sounds good to me. Since they introduced it, Brian Hochstein says, that is great. Brian, you got to come on here and talk about that. That's presented by the Virginia Tourism, and that's going to be a competition. Thank you, Tara, for getting this to me. Be prepared. Let's see if we can win first place. Are you going down to the Harvester? Speaking about first place, they've got some new shows coming in. The Wailers, the Steel Drivers, the Marshall Tucker Band, Tab Benoit, Bacon Brothers. Charity Moonshine tasting is being held at the big building there. United Way of Franklin County is taking a unique approach to fundraising on April 18th when it unveils the first annual moonshine tasting event, Shine and Dine. In addition to sampling moonshine from Appalachian Mountain Spirits Distillery, guests will enjoy a variety of food. Now that's going to be at the building in there at the Grove, Early Inn at the Grove. Wow. Lots of people, lots of good companies are supporting this. You ought to get out there. This is great for the county. Folks, this is being sponsored by Assured Comfort Adjustable Beds, the Inn at the Grove, Channel 7, Next Generation Designs, Appalachian Mountain Spirit Distillery, Davis, 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 and Davis, PC, Orion Solutions, McCall Insurance, of course, Long and Foster, AEP, Carillion Clinic, Franklin Community Bank. Now, this is different. Franklin Community Bank, a division of American National Bank. Now, you knew about that. That's something new after the first of the year. That's a big deal, folks. The first annual charity moonshine tasting, that'll be April 18th. Have you met the new football coach, J.R. Edwards, at the high school? We're going to try to get him on here, but meet him, talk to him, wish him well. Lots of things happening. Have you got your ticket? It's this coming Friday, Daly and Vincent. Folks were in to talk about it, and they pretty well promised that after about the first day or two of the week, they expected it would be a sellout. Now, if that's the case, you need to get your ticket first thing this morning. Daly and Vincent, Friday, March 13th, 8 o'clock, sponsored by the Rocky Mount Lions Club. If you get your ticket in advance, it's $20. If you get it at the door, if there are any seats available, it's going to cost you $5 more. I was looking at the Parks and Rec upcoming events now. We're at the 9th day of the month. Now let me just quickly turn over and see. Shawl class. 6 to 7:30 at the Crooked Stitch. Monday, today, a shawl class. Tomorrow, Cooper's Cove Community Center, as they teach you about beef, poultry, eggs, and pork, a workshop. Local farmers share delicious food and local information. Wow, that sounds like fun. And the eating might be good too, at the Cooper's Cove Community Center. Coming up, CSI Crime Scene Investigation Workshop. I don't know. Be held Sunday, March 15th at the Essig Center, ages 8 to 13. There are all kinds of things going on. Don't forget the Essig Center is a home for fun. It's a home for parties, all kinds of things you can do down there. Xbox 360 birthday party, Princess Tea birthday party, trucks and trains, and a sports birthday. Get the folks down there to help you. It's very, very reasonably priced, and what a birthday party it can be. Mark your calendar. There's something else, not this month, but next. April 4th, there's an egg hunt. You know where it is. There's an egg hunt. It's going to be fun. You will never see again in your life so many eggs. I was going to say under one roof, but it's under God's roof. It's outside, but you'll enjoy it. Chug for the Jug, April 18th. That is before you. All right. I'll probably mention this one more time. There is a bounty out on the coyotes of the county. I mean, these are the real four-legged ones. Franklin County Board of Supervisors has appropriated the money for the remainder of the fiscal year to fund for the bounty program, a $35 bounty for each coyote killed and the coyote brought to the Public Safety Office. They're a nuisance. They're a problem. See if you can't help, if that's your thing. But there is a bounty for them, and I'm announcing it. Okay, Moonshine Express is getting close. You know, you got a month. It's April 12th and 19th, $14 a seat. Now, that is being put on by the Historical Society. Takes you around town on a vintage bus to meet characters from both sides of the law. The way they put it is, both sides of the law, music, education, vintage people and cars all tell the truth of the moonshine capital of the world. Get your tickets at the Historical Society. Moonshine Express. Boy, there's a lot of things going on to do with that. Don't miss it. It's a lot of fun. New Hearts, March 15th. They're going to be at the Rocky Mount First Church of the Brethren. That's a 7 o'clock concert. March 15th, 7 o'clock at Rocky Mount First Church of the Brethren. New Hearts, music. You're in the last part, yeah, it sure is, of the revival at Snow Creek Christian Church. Snow Creek, nothing is last when it comes to a revival, but you know what I mean. Snow Creek Christian has a revival, and the dates were 8, 9, and 10 at 7 o'clock. Well, today is 9, so 8 was yesterday. The Spiritual Heirs were there. Today, 9, Dennis Martin is there. Tomorrow, the 10th, Gary McCoy. So you've still got time for the last 2 to come in and listen. Bridge to Life with Champs, March 20th at the Pig River Community Center. This is something wonderful for the children. 7th annual fundraising activity, a jazz concert. The program, the Bridge to Life with Champs, serves rising 6th graders and continues with them through graduation. It's a wonderful program. Come on out, support it, buy tickets, have something good to eat. You can be a sponsor. Now, this is a good thing for a business or a company to do. You want to get involved in the community. You want to help children. This is the way to do it. Sponsor the event. Get a registration form. 7th annual Bridge to Life with Champs. The people that are responsible. A lot of good folks led by Florella Johnson and Laverne Tiggle. Now, you would not argue with those two ladies. You would say if they're doing it, it's championship. They are great people, and this is on behalf of the children. All right, let's see. Wednesday, you know about that. Smith Mountain Lake Chamber Office, Boones Mill Baptist Preschool. They're going to be in. I've got the preacher and everybody coming from Boones Mill Baptist to explain the journey, which takes place March 28th, 29th, and the preschool, which is now enrolling. They're not going to be here today, but they will be in. Billy and Diane Mitchum in concert. March 22nd at Christian Fellowship Church in Glade Hill. That's a good one. So, I have now told you many things to keep you out of trouble. What do you think? You interested? This is your hometown, your county. This is where you live. Support these things. Get out. Make it worthwhile. You will enjoy it. We're going to have at some point somebody in from the Halesford Methodist Church and the New Hope United Methodist Church. They're having an outdoor concert called String Beans, Corn, and Peas. Now, it doesn't happen until May 16th. Got plenty of time. But be prepared when they come in. That's a good thing to be involved with. And finally, Smith Mountain Lake's very own steel drum bands. March 28th, 5 to 8 o'clock at the Smith Mountain Lake YMCA. They are calling it a night of tropical delight. Get your ticket. $25 a person. Reserve a table. Ticket includes heavy hors d'oeuvres, cash bar, and cornhole game. Now there is tropical delight, cornhole, cash bar, hors d'oeuvres, steel band, all $25 a person, and it aids the YMCA, and it'll be out at the lake, at the Y. Now, you heard it here. Support everything you can in Rocky Mount and Franklin County. The people work very hard to make it good for you. It's your hometown, your home county. Let's stay up with it. Let's do what we can to make it all a continued success. I'm glad to be here to tell you that. Isn't the weather beautiful? Now, we'll get a weather report later, and let's see if it's going to continue. I couldn't believe it yesterday. Now, it does give you an opportunity to do some things that you haven't been able to do. I know that. And you're also in the back of your mind saying, this is just the 1st of March now. What's it going to do again? Well, we find out about that eventually also, but hope you had a good weekend. I did. And going to take a commercial break now. We'll be back with a guest in just a few moments. Please stay right where you are.
People have said that there's no way that Bojangles made-from-scratch biscuits could get any better. But that's before they put 2 thick slices of cheddar cheese inside their biscuits.
There's more cheese than biscuit.
This is ooey gooey goodness.
Ooey gooey?
Look, Dad has a cheese skirt.
Cheese skirt.
Yeah, the melted cheese looks like a skirt.
Come try the Cheddar Bow. Bojangles, it's Cheddar Bow time.
When it's time to celebrate the life of someone special, turn to Connor Bowman Funeral Home. With 2 full-service facilities, we offer professional care and service to our community. 100% owned and operated, offering you the traditional historical Lynch Connor Bowman and Franklin County's most modern and newest facility on 220 North. We can assist you with pre-arranged funerals, and we house an on-site crematory. We can come to your home to make arrangements and pre-arrangements. We offer the release of 1 white dove, 1 memorial video, and video of the service if held in one of our chapels at no cost to you. Connor Bowman Funeral Home, Rocky Mount and 220 North.
Hey, Southwest Virginia, look who's playing in Rocky Mount at the Harvester Performance Center, March the 19th. It's the Oak Ridge Boys. Purchase your tickets online to see your favorite bands. The Harvester Performance Center in Rocky Mount has an exceptional lineup of music. Purchase your tickets online at harvester-music.com or call 540-GUITARS.
It's bow time at Bojangles. We can't reveal what makes our roasted chicken bites so good, but we can tell you that each one is marinated in awesome. Head to Bojangles now and pick up some roasted chicken bites. Marinated, oven-roasted, bite-sized, boneless chicken, seasoned to perfection the way only Bojangles can. Grab a roasted chicken bites combo and you'll get a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, your choice of a fixin' and a drink. The roasted chicken bites combo, now just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
I'm a real Chantel customer.
This is my real sister.
This is my real treehouse.
This is my real mower.
This is my real Chantel internet.
This is my real Chantel phone.
This is my real big screen TV.
This is my real big wrench.
I'm a real Chantel customer.
This is a real good video.
I'm real pregnant.
We're a real Chantel family.
Real value for real life. From the one provider that calls this place home.
We know that there are many options when choosing a healthcare provider for you and your loved one. When your help at home is not enough and you're looking for intense rehab services that home does not offer, at Trinity Mission Health and Rehab of Rocky Mount, our goal is to provide quality health care, skilled services to individuals admitted to our facility. Our primary services include nursing services, short-term specialized therapy, which is offered for Medicare as well as Medicaid recipients, respite, bariatric care, as well as long-term care for you and your loved one. We provide physicians coverage by our medical director, Dr. Robert Strong, including an on-site geriatric nurse practitioner as part of that team. In addition to our goal for quality care, Trinity Mission Health and Rehab of Rocky Mount provides a home-like atmosphere for residents to enjoy amenities like in-house movie theater, spacious game room, Wi-Fi, cable, fine dining, as well as private dining. This and many other things are offered at Trinity Mission Health and Rehab of Rocky Mount, where we are serving the needs of our community one patient at a time.
People have said that there's no way that Bojangles made from scratch biscuits could get any better. But that's before they put 2 thick slices of cheddar cheese inside their biscuits.
It's more cheese than biscuit.
This is ooey gooey goodness.
Ooey gooey.
Look, Dad, it has a cheese skirt.
Cheese skirt.
Yeah, the melted cheese looks like a skirt.
Come try the Cheddar Bow. Bojangles, it's Cheddar Bow time.
Tonight.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine this morning. It's a lovely morning. Haven't you enjoyed the weather? I'm telling you.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
This is good. What's that comment?
Amen.
You like the weather.
Amen. God,
It's good. It's a good time to do odd jobs, chores.
No, it's a good time not to shovel snow. I mean, let's start with the basics.
Snow.
Snow.
What
yeah.
is that?
What is that?
70 degrees, 60 to 70 degrees.
Yep.
I came out the back, wanted to take a walk down to the creek and just, I periodically go down there to make sure the iron furnace and the creek are still there, and it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. It was a nice day.
It was
and it's the kind of days we're going to be having a lot of here shortly, hopefully.
I just opened up and started conversing. Would you introduce yourself, please, sir?
James Irvin, town manager. Yeah, I walked in like 2 minutes ago. So
we have teased him since he walked in and say, "Thank goodness you were right." And he said, "Well, that's when I'm supposed to be here." And he's right. Here he is. And we're going to talk town of Rocky Mount business. There is a council meeting.
Yep, council meeting tonight.
And I would open this conversation by saying, folks, any of you that are out there, especially the ones that live in this town, this is your opportunity. You should be attending town council meetings just so that you can see what's going on. Be part of it. Be amazed. Something that interests everybody happens, and it would be good. Now, what we'll do is we'll talk about what's happening in town.
Yep,
Thank
got
you,
a few
sir.
things to go over.
And then we'll kind of address the meeting tonight and try to get you interested in it. It's always a worthwhile trip. Sir, you wanted to talk about snow, you wanted to talk about the depot, you wanted to talk about the harvester. 3 great things. Now, I think we can possibly control harvester and the depot.
Yep. Can't control snow.
Is what are we going to talk about snow?
Well, I just wanted to, publicly commend our public works folks and our public safety folks. We had a really rough 4-week span. We have some staff who worked 20 to 30 hours straight, and we got a lot of praise in the regional press for being on top of our game, where some localities may or may not have been. It's not really a fair comparison. I just wanted to mention that our guys did amazing, and we appreciate what they do. We have probably a higher percentage of equipment to lane mile than, say, Roanoke, which, if you read the paper, Roanoke didn't fare very well in the comparison. But what we also are blessed with are people plowing their own streets, which makes all the difference in the world. In other words, the folks plowing the street is going by the house of, that's my mom, that's my aunt. They need to get out, they need to go to the hospital or whatever. And our recent snow event showed us what it's like to be a very cohesive community, to where it's not that it's a job, it's a mission. And when our guys fight snow, they fight it with passion.
Well, in all honesty, when I went out and traveled about and did whatever I had to do, I was very, very pleased, if I may be able to be pleased at movement of snow,
Please,
you know?
yeah.
But it was amazing. And the area, it's a small area that was interesting, was there's a tendency when one plows to plow people into their property.
Yeah, that's unavoidable, unfortunately.
Well, this time it didn't happen.
Well, our folks, they tried.
They either plowed a little bit closer or lifted the plow or moved it to the side. What happened, James? I have no idea, but it wasn't, they weren't just trying to be nice to Dick Shoemaker because...
No one's going to do that.
Because but up and down the street, there was access to major driveways, access to the little streets off the main street. Thank you. And thanks to the people.
Mr. Mason and his crew, they went above and beyond. They once again did Rocky Mount proud. They're fantastic folks. You just can't say thanks enough. They're, the first one with the heavier snow, which was powder, it was hard to push. I honestly think that some folks are out there in excess of 30 hours. The subsequent snowfalls, they were less of a challenge. But the challenge that Roanoke showed us is that if you don't get down to bare pavement early, people get out, they drive on it, and at that point you're shot. Yep. You just can't do anything to it. And so the philosophy of get on it, stay on it, don't get off it until it's clear is the only way to solve that problem. It's not a high-tech solution. It doesn't involve fancy chemicals. It doesn't involve high-end equipment. It involves just, brute effort and passion. And I really am, I'm constantly impressed by the folks that are out doing the hard work in the rough weather. And we've got some amazing people, and I just really want to share that.
Well, I can add one extra, and that is I managed to struggle from my house out a long driveway to the front with trash.
And they picked it up.
And darn, I said to Dee, I said, I'm going to take it out there.
Yep.
And guess what? I don't think they're going to pick it up, but it's there for next week, and we'll just let it sit. It's not very attractive, but I'm not going to bring it back. Well, lo and behold, when we came home later in the day, they had been a trash truck come by and picked it up and dumped it, and then set it right back. Yeah.
Yeah, that was sort of the coup. We got the roads clean that day. Mm-hmm. Guys were tired, they were wet, they were cold, but we went ahead and fielded enough folks to run the trash routes. Got that done before they went home, and you can't buy that. That has to do with these are folks that are in their own community. It's not someone else's trash; it's their trash.
That's right.
And that really mattered. And the fact that by 10 o'clock in the morning we were able to field the trash crew, it was a good thing. Now these folks are tired, they're worn out. Hopefully Mother Nature is going to give us a break so we can catch up, get some rest. I will tell you that last week we almost lost a $400,000 piece of equipment. One of our town residents put some hot ashes in their trash thinking that they were safe to dispose of. We put them in the trash truck, didn't know that was there. The trash truck caught fire. We barely got it back to Public Works and dumped in time, and we had a good bit of damage to it. All of it, which I think we can repair, but it's a good heads up to your viewers that don't put hot ashes in the trash, because that just creates a really risky situation.
From a fireplace or something like that, as you clean it, and that's important to clean it, but put it in a safe place, stack it until
use an ash can. Use an ash can and let that can
burn.
sit at least 7 days. I have a philosophy. I've got 2 ash cans. I've got the maybe hot one, and I've got the definitely cold one. And I don't want to risk creating an issue. So I'm sure whomever set it out thought it was all okay. But that's also a risk to your home. That those ashes that someone thought were safe, they ended up disposing of, And that is one way that house fires are created, is that you got to be very careful.
House fires and people that dump them at the edge of the woods. You know, I've got lots of trees around the back, and when I clean the fireplace, I've got metal, as you said, metal cans or buckets or whatever, and it goes in there in a protected area until I know it's out.
Right.
Because that'll surprise you. It never does get completely out. It may look like, we're not telling you something you don't know.
Yeah, just
but
be mindful.
You got to be careful.
My wife gets very unhappy about our ash can because it sits out in the middle of an area in our house, and she's like, "Well, why you got to put it there?" I said, "You know, it's 6 feet away from anything flammable. I just cleaned out the fireplace, let it sit there a few days, but be careful with it."
It's amazing. You know, what appears to be an insignificant or a small thing or an annoyance. Hey, do you like cleaning your fireplace? No. But just that one extra step, thank you for that reminder. That is very true. But again, thank you to you and to the assistant town manager, town council, and all, especially the hardworking people that aided us in our homes through that snowy time.
Yeah, your first responders, police, fire, rescue,
yeah.
they were doing the same thing. It was, the town fared well, and if you weren't happy, we apologize. We did get a few complaints. We tried to get on them as fast as we could. But in the big picture, we did all right.
All right. I wonder if it's going to snow anymore.
Shush.
We're not even going to talk about it. All right, well, let's talk about the Harvester.
Yeah, that's there's been a lot of press both regionally and locally. There was an editorial in the Roanoke paper. There was an article. There was an article in the local paper, and it's really useful to sort of put that into perspective. The town's mission is to make the town amazing. In other words, the town elects a legislative body, a town council. They get together, and over the years, they strive to create a vision for a good future that provides a quality of life for Rocky Mount. Now, they've tried a lot of different things over the years to make that work. In the last couple of decades, we've spent over $10 million subsidizing low utility rates because it was part of the vision of growing a vibrant economy where people wanted to be. Every year, currently, we lose, if you want to use that terminology, $200,000 charging below market to pick up your trash. Your $4 or $5 a month fee to pick up your trash is actually got about a $30 cost to it. But again, that's a choice that you make to create a community that you want, and that's what elected bodies do. Franklin County spends $1 million a year on a Parks and Rec program because it's creating that quality of life. And that's the role of government, because that's what we hear. People tell us we want our town to matter, we want to have things to do, we want to save our downtown. And we try to grow the economy. We spent $3 million acquiring the Cox property and putting in a road and utilities to it. Zero economic return thus far, but it doesn't mean that we're writing that off. It means that that's a future investment. Now, the Harvester is exactly the same thing. We've spent some money in an effort to make the community the way we want it to be. Now, in this particular instance, it's actually hitting pay dirt in the sense that in only 8 months of operation, we've made over a $2 million impact in the local economy, just in town. That doesn't count Franklin County and the larger region. We did it, and we're not making millions of dollars a month on it just yet, but we are making much more economic growth locally than anything we've tried before. The $10 million we spent on low utility rates, the millions we spent on low-cost refuse collection, the $3 million we spent on the Cox property, we're getting more of a return for the small investment we're making in the Harvester than any of those. In fact, I would say than all of them combined. And thus far, even though, yeah, you can point to it and say it's only 8 months into its business life, and it still is requiring, to some extent, a subsidy. But that subsidy, by virtue of comparison to these other things, is small. And we have a plan to get on the other side of that. 98% of the shows we had in the first 8 months paid for themselves. Yeah, it's not to the point where it's paying the utilities and some of the back-end expenses, but the ticket prices exceeded the cost of putting on the shows.
Say that again.
The revenue from operating the ticket prices exceeded the cost of putting on the shows.
Okay.
And that's true in 98% of the cases. Now, I will tell you the first 8 months of operations was heavily loaded in advertising. We have to make a name for ourselves. We have to be successful before the better bands, the better acts will want to come see us. I mean, you can't open day one and say, I want to get John Prime. You actually have to show that you've got some street cred. So we're building that business. We're building a business case, and we do have a 36-month plan to get the Harvester closer to imbalance. I mean, the town made $100,000 of tax revenue just on the economic activity alone. And if you fast forward that 3 years, it really looks like it's going to work. It's not going to be an ongoing reinvestment. But I'll tell you, in comparison to the $350,000 a year that Vinton spends on their war memorial, or the $1.9 million it takes to keep either the Roanoke Civic Center or the Salem Civic Center together, our investment is small and it's making a dent. We have more economic activity because of what we're doing than these other examples. But the challenge is to let this little lamb grow up into a sheep, and to realize that it is delivering what we imagined it would deliver. It's keeping our downtown relevant. It's keeping our town relevant. It's creating that quality of life that folks are really craving for in our community. People have told me for the 8 years I've been here, James, we need more sit-down restaurants. Well, guess what? We're getting them now. And we're getting them because we're making a reason for them to be here. And so the idea is the press may sort of bounce back and forth, and I guess you're part of the press, but we're in it for the long haul. We're in it because we believe in our community. We think that our downtown is a wonderful, relevant place, and that we're willing to leverage that and to believe that music is a part of that future. And as we look at what's happening in the economic impact of the Harvester, it's quite frankly an amazing success story. There's of all the things we've tried to do, either with our utility operation, with our refuse collection, with county's Parks and Rec, with our industrial park, with our economic development incentives, we have gotten more return per dollar spent in what we've done thus far with the Harvester than everything else combined.
And isn't it fun?
Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah,
I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, the challenge is people want to think of it as something different other than the $3 million for our last industrial park, which is still empty. Isn't fun, so it's okay. You can lose money if it's not fun, but it's not a loss. I mean, we get a certain amount of money every 12 months, and we're going to use it all, because why would we take it otherwise?
Right.
I mean, it's your money, and so we get a little bit, and your expectation is we're going to use it to do something of value to you. So the end result is we are going to budget our tax revenue and our utility revenue on a 12-month basis to make the best impact to the community we can. Now, the folks that say you spent $3 million on the Cox property, that's okay. The challenge is the Harvester, it's fun, and I guess there's some mental issue with saying economic development can't be fun. Well, no, this is fun, and it's working, and quite frankly, it's costing us a lot less than these other attempts at figuring it out. And that's not to say we're not going to keep doing all of the above. I mean, we're going to strive to make our refuse collection efficient, cost-effective, and still attract people who want to be here. We're going to make our utilities as best they can be. We are going to continue to invest in industrial property and try and attract employers. But we're also going to focus on the quality of life, much like Franklin County spends $1 million a year on Parks and Rec, because that makes a community you want to be in. With the Harvester and with Rocky Mount being a growing, more relevant locality, our job of attracting industry is going to be easier because people want to be here.
Got a new business planned in the process of opening right now down in
Yeah,
downtown.
we actually have, we've had more inquiries in the last year than in the 5 previous years combined. And the reason is because, good example, there's a reason all those people go down to Orlando. And it's not the cheap tickets, it's because there are things there they want to do. And the solution to making our economy more vibrant is to have a reason that people come here. And we're giving them that, and it's working. The challenge is for us that are on the inside of the success, that we're seeing our community blossom and thrive. You know, we're going to make it. We've got a good plan. We've got amazing staff. And as it grows and can attract even bigger names and better performances, it's only going to double or triple its impact.
Well,
so I'm just saying is hold the course.
No, I don't think there's anybody that's not. I think people that, now there may be some folks, you listen now folks, there may be some people that have not been to see something. Take a shot at it. There are things priced from $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 on up to $40, $50, $70, who knows? But the quality, the quantity, the involvement dictates the price. But try one that's maybe not as expensive. See the inside. Understand what you have in your community now that is starting to attract other businesses to come into the community. And that's the key to it. This place is going to be there. There's one element that keeps surfacing in the press that I think is indicative, is the discussion with people that come here to perform that
how
say
happy they are.
Immediately upon leaving, when's an available...
When can I come back? Yeah.
I want... No, you misunderstand, they say. I want to come back at least twice more this year. What dates would be good for the Whalers or Tab Benoit or the Bacon Brothers? You know, people that you know about. We want to come back because the place was packed, people are good, and everybody liked us. You know? Now, what's not to like? And that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is, and that's one of its successes in that these folks who spend the entire touring season, which is spring to fall, on the road in difficult places, they come here and they find an amazing, intimate, wonderfully sounding venue with helpful people in a beautiful little community. And it's like a breath of fresh air to them. You know, they want to come back. And, you know, if we continue that process and we continue making the Harvester an extension of the Rocky Mountains hospitality, our wonderful culture of playing great host, we're going to achieve that. And we're going to also leverage that, because the flip side of that is the people who come, they want to come back. And you know what? They want to come back just to shop sometimes. Yeah. And you go into every retailer and you say, tell me how this is working. And a lot of these patrons are turning into customers. And that's basically what we're trying to do.
Stay tuned, folks. We said it was good. It is. And if there's a way to tell, it's happening a lot sooner than we thought it would, but it still has a long way to go. And the beauty of it is it's immense where it can go.
Oh, God, yeah, there's no limit.
You know, the limit is beyond something. I was looking at what's coming up. Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors with Humming House. Dan Hicks and the Hot Licks. Junior Sisk and Rambler's Choice. Now, he happens to be from around here. He happens to be international. He happens to be a great talent. And where's he going to go? He's going to go to his hometown and play at the Harvester. So the Oak Ridge boys.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
That's going to be a party. So congratulations to the town and the county and everybody that's involved. But
well, the core thing is make sure that your viewers and the folks who are involved evaluate its success in the same way they do our other things. That we have heavily subsidized utility rates. We did it because we were trying to slowly get that process to self-sufficiency. And now you've been with me now for 8 years, and you've realized that it's taken us 5 years to slowly get our utility operation into the black. We are not unmindful of that, but we are also people that are willing to take a longer course. Will we ever get our trash collection into the black? I don't know. We spent 300 years of tax revenue putting utilities into the area that we annexed recently over in the northeast part of town. The challenge is are we investing wisely, and is it making our community what we believe commonly as our vision for it? And some of these things, they need time to grow and get stable. And quite frankly, by getting our utility infrastructure a little more in balance, we were putting $500,000 cash a year into subsidized utility rates, and then losing probably another $1,000,000 on top, $500,000 or $1 million on top of that. The small amount of investment we're making into the Harvester now should be viewed very similarly. Is it getting a return? And the answer right now is a resounding yes. And not only that, is just like given 4 to 5 years, we got our utility infrastructure correct. Given the same time frame with the Harvester, we're going to do the same thing because we got some smart folks.
Well, I'm pleased with that. I'm very happy to hear what you have said and what Matt Hankins says when he comes in. We're all on the same page. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud, and I know you are too. We have a town council meeting coming this evening. I want to talk about that a little bit. And there's also another building downtown that I want to approach. And that's the one that 10, 15 years ago received a lot of money and a lot of effort. It's known as the Depot. And it's been utilized in many different ways. It's still just a great building, and it still sits a little bit less active than we would like to have it. But let's take a look at that. But I'm going to stop for a moment. We're going to have a commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk Depot, and we'll talk tonight's council meeting. So don't go away. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here.
Love it.
All right. Folks, we'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
We know that there are many options when choosing a healthcare provider for you and your loved one. When your help at home is not enough and you're looking for intense rehab services that home does not offer. At Trinity Mission Health and Rehab of Rocky Mount, our goal is to provide quality health care and skilled services to individuals admitted to our facility. Our primary services include nursing services, short-term specialized therapy, which is offered for Medicare as well as Medicaid recipients, respite, bariatric care, as well as long-term care for you and your loved one. We provide physicians coverage by our medical director, Dr. Robert Strong, including an on-site geriatric nurse practitioner as part of that team. In addition to our goal for quality care, Trinity Mission Health and Rehab of Rocky Mount provides a home-like atmosphere for residents to enjoy amenities like in-house movie theater, spacious game room, Wi-Fi, cable, fine dining, as well as private dining. This and many other things are offered at Trinity Mission Health and Rehab of Rocky Mount, where we are serving the needs of our community one patient at a time.
Uttermost. Unique name, unique company. The name Uttermost comes from the Bible, Acts chapter 1, verse 8. This verse expresses our personal beliefs to share God's word to the uttermost part of the earth. Our marketing plan is similar in that we work to sell our products to all parts of the earth. Uttermost was started in 1975 and is still family-owned today. We are now the largest wholesaler of decorative home furnishings in the United States. Our products include mirrors, art, clocks, decorative accessories, lamps, lighting fixtures, permanent botanicals, and accent furniture. We even have decorative dog beds. To learn more about Uttermost, visit our website at www.uttermost.com.
Hello, I'm Doug Williams, and I live in Rocky Mount. I also own and operate Budget Blinds. In Franklin County, we service all of the county, plus the lake, and all of the Roanoke Valley. We've been in business for 12 years. At Budget Blinds, we do a free in-home consultation. We come in and measure your windows and show you all the different things that are available. We will educate you on your windows and what is best for your window covering needs. We will assist you with all of the decisions in styles and colors, and the estimate is free. You will work with the owners of the company from start to finish. We are the ones that come out and sell you the product. We are the ones that install the product, and we will service the product as well. We stand behind our work, and we offer the best warranty in the industry, our 5-year, no questions asked warranty. So for all your window covering needs, let the blind guys help you see the possibilities.
Here we are again, right back where we started from. No, I'm not going to sing.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh boy, that scared the town manager. He said, "Well, am I going to have to?" Do you sing?
I enjoy singing, but those around me don't. So
yeah, I think that's pretty much. I used to say, "Boy, I have a wonderful voice," but now, if it's muffled, it's better. Listen. We talked Harvester, wild success. We talked incoming businesses, changes over the years, very successful. I'm just not going to get into the nitty gritty. I'm just going to say thank you, and it's good. We have a elderly relative out there known as the Depot, the Visitors Center, that is not being used quite as much as I think it should be.
Yep.
That's just Dick Shoemaker talking. I think it's a great place. Now, do we have any plans, or are we working on it? And then let's move over to tonight's meeting, okay?
Yeah, that's a good segue. We're having 1,000 people a week, plus or minus, come into the Harvester. I looked at the Depot logs from last year, and I think only 8 of them went to the Visitor Center. And so we've got a real issue in that the Visitor Center is simply not being a visitor center. Its predominant use is people rent it for events, etc. So the real question is what's the best avenue for greeting visitors to our community? How can we use all of our assets? And that's on tonight's agenda to talk about. Do we continue running it as a visitor center, or do we run it as a restored train depot that you can rent? Or do we change the way we market it and use it? We're supposed to open it here in April. I mean, it runs basically April through December. And before we go down that path, I'd like to have a really good conversation and take the public's input and give the elected body a chance to have a clear-eyed version of how can we best utilize that. It's not going anywhere. There's nothing that we're talking about that's going to alter it. One of the items that we do have that we should come up with some plan for is there's 2 office spaces in there that are not used at all at this point. Could we use them as a business incubator? There's no reason you can't have a visitor center, a space that's rentable, and leverage those offices for something that would help us grow. So there's a conversation that needs to be had as to how to do this better. I mean, if you look at the number of folks who visited it last year, it's not successful. So we've got to do something different in order to make it relevant. We've got to utilize it different. We've got to advertise it differently. Do we want to somehow connect it to these folks that are coming into town? We've got to connect those 2 dots in some capacity. And the reason I bring it up is there's no slam dunk answer. I mean, these are legitimate questions that are, what do you do? How do you get there? And I'm hoping we can start that dialogue so we can have a non-emotive discussion. In other words, a lot of folks have a lot of passion about it, and I do too, because it's a wonderful asset. We don't want to devolve that asset, but what we want to do is figure out how are we getting the best use out of it. And we've got to have that conversation in a way that 5 years from now, that visitor's log is 10 times what it was. There's a more of a connection between how can it be the gateway. We actually have 3 competing entities now. We've got the town's official visitor center, we have the Harvester, and we have a great deal of visitor information at the antique store. And they're even advertising has come in here. And quite frankly, given their more visible location, their numbers probably exceed ours.
And when you say the antique store?
The Crooked Road Antique Store, which right there, Miss Ray's business, her and Jim. The challenge is...
But they're so close together, it would seem logical within walking distance.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a question of signage. I don't know if it's a question of marketing. So we've got some unused space in the depot. How do we want to use that, or do we want to keep it as an option? One of the things that's come up is, do we partner with Ferrum to put some sort of entrepreneurial business incubator in those office spaces? We have the visitor center aspect of it, which we've got a long list of folks that want to rent it, which we're going to continue doing. But before we start it up again, it's a good time to sit down and have that chat. Is we've got the folks coming to the Harvester, do we have the right visitors preference there? Do we have the ability of telling people, hey, there's a visitor center, if you come back, go here?
Do we do that?
That's just it. I don't think, having been there, I mean, I've probably gone to 20 shows, and I think the night of the show, it's this massive sort of, get in, get out. And the challenge is how are we going to do the visitor center? How are we going to steer people towards it? Right now we are staffing the depot with paid staff. And quite frankly, there are some days where nobody shows up.
That's our fault.
Right.
So we have to undo that. The connection is, as I'm listening to you now, I think is what I'm hearing is somewhat of the unusual thing. And when you make the connection, you have to put the right interest level in that place to get people to, number one, this is an antique. This is worth your time to see. Number two, you can buy, get, do otherwise. Or simply rent and pay enough rent to have your business there. A business that would sell, not a business that would meet. You have an office type where you have people in there
two
that
small
are just
offices
running
there.
Something that really is not open to the public.
Correct.
Or you can have a business where they're selling something that is open to the public.
Now, we've tried 9 ways to Sunday. CPR ran it. The chamber ran it. The town has run it. All of those implementations hasn't given us the numbers that I think would be useful. So the question is we still have some low-hanging fruit there. There is still some way, somehow, to improve, recapitalize on that investment. It's a difficult conversation because there's a lot of people that have a lot of passion, but what I hope to do is to sort of clear up the fog and just have a really good, what worked, what didn't work, how do we do it better. I think if we do some sort of a hybrid using the office space as an incubator, having more reason for folks to get in there, and making it a more of a destination, or move Harvester ticket sales to the depot.
That's a good thought, or at least to have the availability of certain things there that are not there now.
Right.
So you have an alternate choice, or perhaps the Harvester can save some money by not being open in a particular way, and yet people get a chance to visit a purely historical site that has some fun to it and get a ticket. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either, but I think the right answer is going to come from having the conversation and just asking for folks that have the brainstorm, asking for folks that have an idea to come out. It's something we're going to talk about tonight. The intent isn't this evening to sort of, pour cement over it. The idea is to hear your idiot manager say, we've got to do something different here. Don't know what it is, but let's start talking about it.
Let's not close the door. Let's not pour $1 million more in it, but let's make a plan. And I like that, James. Thank you, sir. That's the best way to look at it. We can't give up on it, and yet at the same time we can't spend a small fortune without a plan. And there's enough going on. If you stop and think about some of the changes downtown, some of the restaurants, some of the shows, some of the level of activity, this is just at the other end of that street. And there is a very large group of people that love trains. Mm-hmm. There's an organization that my grandson and I are both involved in, where we travel occasionally with them to different places. Way up in the county, there's an old train, an abandoned train, one that Ms. Foster had and that we visited. To watch people train people that find this, it's amazing. So you have all of that level of historical. Just to let you know, I would be willing to bet if you have an idea, if you have a thought, if you have a need, if there's a way you as the public here can add one more rose to our corsage that's there but not blooming quite the way we want it yet, let the town office know. Be involved. This is a good thing. All right, you get to hear some of it tonight. Mm-hmm. Now, can we segue on that right on over? And thank you for your words on that, Mr. Irvin. I appreciate that. But move us over into tonight's meeting. That is 7 o'clock tonight at Town Council Chambers. Come in and you have your regular council meeting.
Yeah, we're going to have a March meeting, which is sort of a prelude to our budget season. We're going to be going fast and furious on working on a budget for next year. We're blessed in the sense that ours is a simpler process than a lot of other entities around us. Our mission's a lot smaller, but the only other item of note on tonight's agenda really is what was tabled in February, which is should we or shouldn't we open the meeting with a prayer. And I hope that has some discussion and dialogue, and we'll certainly be curious to see where that goes. But beyond that, it's more of a discuss and figure out meeting than it is one that we expect a lot of. Here's what we're going to do.
Well, I understand most everything that I saw here. Discussion about the depot, we've already done that. Municipal League supper to be held at the Harvester. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing, and that's going to be discussed. Annual financial report, boring but important. Overview of Crooked Road events for Mountains of Music Homecoming. We haven't even talked about that here on this show this morning.
You haven't covered that?
No, not much at all. I don't have any material on it.
It's not set. The calendar is evolving. We're just going to be a participant, but it's a multi-week whole region-wide festival.
Offer the region, the depot as the local area and office for it. And then sodium hypochlorite water treatment project. I'm not even going to ask what that is, but chlorine. That's going to be...
Chlorine.
Huh?
Chlorine.
What is it?
Chlorine.
Hypochlorite?
Yeah.
Is chlorine. Okay. Well,
yeah, and as an aside, we've talked about
he's
a lot
going to open. He's going to tell us about it.
No, I've got to tell you about that. There are things that your viewers see and you see and you're proud of. The Harvester. What are we going to do with the depot? Now there are some things that are achievements that are not very glorious, and that's one of them. Our water plant. Every water plant around here uses chlorine to make the water safe because it kills bacteria and makes the water potable. And part of the Virginia Department of Health is that we have to inject chlorine into the water after we've purified it. We use, and we've always used, chlorine gas. It's dangerous, it's deadly. We've had some injuries, and technologically speaking, there's no reason to use that. But it's been an 8-year battle to get off of chlorine gas and onto liquid chlorine. You know what liquid chlorine is, right? Mm-hmm. It's bleach. Mm-hmm. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Which is safer to handle, cheaper.
Yep.
But the challenge is we started 8 years ago with really significant deficits in our utility operation, and we couldn't fund optional capital. We had to fund mandatory capital. This water line broke. This has done that, and with careful work and strong support from the elected folks, we've gotten to the point where last year we could actually undertake some things that were not mandates or essential. In other words, we were going to do something that wasn't fixing what was broken. And I hate to say it, I love the harvester, but I am happier about getting off of chlorine gas than anything else we've ever done, because it makes our employees come to work in a slightly safer environment. And it also represents a utility operation which is getting closer to sanity, which is we're not only fixing what's broke, but we're fixing what's not ideal. And so, tonight is a milestone in that we're going to issue a contract to a company who's going to help us get off of chlorine gas and onto liquid chlorine, which should have been done a decade ago. Getting to that point was a lot of work. And so, it may sound boring, but it's one of those, finally, thank you.
And we'll have a really good outcome upon completion.
And I'll sleep better at night.
There you go. All right, so there's a lot of things happening tonight. That's one, and included is discussion of options for the depot and the Municipal League supper, as I said. Overview of Crooked Road events for the Mountains of Music Homecoming.
You ought to come out. You'll get an earful. Matt's going to go over what he knows and how he thinks it's unfolding, how the town's going to participate. CPR is planning an event. The county's planning events. We're planning several events at the Harvester. We're really going to ramp up during that period our Crooked Road participation.
So there's a lot of things happening as we look forward. And, and amongst them is a very interesting basement in the building where they are now holding a Chamber of Commerce office meeting on a regular monthly basis, which is to have a office in town yet again, many years later.
I wouldn't say many, but
enough.
It's enough.
It's enough.
The chamber, the Lake Chamber is reaching out.
Well, excuse me, there's not very many people that even remember where it used to be,
that's true. The Lake Chamber has attracted some spark plugs in our area to say, can they reignite a chamber presence in Rocky Mount? It's one that the businesses themselves are going to carry, and they're doing a great job of it. I certainly wish them success, because it's our job is to make a great economy, and their job is to do that networking and to do that support, and I think it's working.
Well, that meeting is this Wednesday. Mm-hmm. This Wednesday in the Perinatal Education Center building, right on the corner across from the hospital. So you can be involved in that.
And you can remember when that building sat empty.
Oh boy. It went through a lot of different strain and a lot of different difficulty, all of which was colorful.
Well, and you can also remember what that street used to look like with all those utility lines and jam-packed. We've fought a lot of fires and built a lot of bridges in the past decade. Things are shockingly better, all things considered.
Who would have thunk it? All right. One last question, please. This resolution, town council legislative prayer. I've had not a ton of people, but I've had a few folks ask me, what does that mean? And why is that even up for question kind of comment? Can you address that quickly?
Yeah, easily. It's governing itself is a secular activity. Our Constitution makes it pretty clear that
secular, non-religious.
Non-religious.
Yes. Okay.
But a public meeting is a place where you have some elected officials who are grappling with some very challenging tasks, and there's nothing at all wrong with seeking God's blessing as they undertake those challenges. There's nothing at all wrong with opening your meeting in a solemn way. Rocky Mount does not. It did, I think, over 30 years ago, open their meeting with a prayer. And Councilmember Moyer asked if we could look at revisiting that practice. And so the town attorney and I consulted with the people in the know, legally, how to do that correctly. And that's what's up for discussion is here are the limits. We've got a lot of faiths in our community. We're not a monolithic faith locality. Rocky Mount has got a lot of different people who believe differently. So the challenge is if you go to open your meeting with a prayer, how do you do it in a way that includes them all? And we've drafted something that I think gets to that, and they discussed it last month, and we're going to talk about it again tonight. Personally, I think the act of governance needs all the help it can get, and I think that asking God's blessing to guide those people making these difficult choices is very fair. I mean, a lot of prayer happens in that room. And what we want to do is embark upon a way of doing that lets everybody in Rocky Mount feel like their version of God and their view of the world is honored. And it's a good discussion, and I hope it lands in a place that everyone says is really good.
I can only say thank you. Your explanation, your approach to it is solid, and I appreciate you taking the moment to discuss that. Might even be a limb that you're out on, but it's a good
I live on limbs.
I know.
Broad shoulders and thick skin.
But it's a good one. Thank you very much. Anything else you want to add today?
No. Let's get spring going.
All right.
Let's get spring going and get outside and enjoy our wonderful community, enjoy our amazing neighbors. Get back in our boats and get our fishing equipment out, and if Jamie comes out here with cold weather and snow, let's beat him senseless and tie him up, because we need some sunshine.
All you have to do is get a little bit of a taste of it.
Yep, and then you're
oh
back.
My goodness, then you're sunk,
Yeah.
But yet it's a fickle thing. So I agree with you.
Winter's on its knees, but thank you.
Thank you, James. It's been great to sit here and have this open discussion about what's going on in your town and about it, and to know that the town council meeting is tonight at 7 o'clock. If you heard something you were interested in, get out there, take a look at it, and be prepared to ask a question or at least listen. We're going to stop this portion of it. I'm going to let Mr. Irvin head back up to Town Hall so he can earn his money. How about that? I believe very strongly that the people that are running our town are earning their money. This is a good place to live, and one of the main reasons is we have very solid leadership, and I'm grateful. So thank you, sir. We'll take a commercial break, and I'll be back in just a few moments. Please wait for me.
It's Bo time at Bojangles. We can't reveal what makes our roasted chicken bites so good, but we can tell you that each one is marinated in awesome. Head to Bojangles now and pick up some roasted chicken bites. Marinated, oven-roasted, bite-sized, boneless chicken, seasoned to perfection the way only Bojangles can. Grab a roasted chicken bites combo and you'll get a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, your choice of a fixin' and a drink. The roasted chicken bites combo, now just $5. Bojangles, it's Bo time.
I'm I'm a real Chantel customer.
This is my real sister.
This is my real treehouse.
This is my real mower.
This is my real Chantel internet.
This is my real Chantel phone.
This is my real big screen TV.
This is my real big wrench.
I'm a real Chantel customer.
This is a real good video.
I'm real pregnant.
We're a real Chantel family.
Real value for real life. From the one provider that calls this place home.
When it's time to celebrate the life of someone special, turn to Connor Bowman Funeral Home. With 2 full-service facilities, we offer professional care and service to our community. 100% owned and operated, offering you the traditional historical Lynch Connor Bowman and Franklin County's most modern and newest facility on 220 North. We can assist you with pre-arranged funerals, and we house an on-site crematory. We can come to your home to make arrangements and pre-arrangements. We offer the release of 1 white dove, 1 memorial video, and video of the service if held in one of our chapels at no cost to you. Connor Bowman Funeral Home, Rocky Mount and 220 North.
Come see the Hitmen. Experience the supergroup whose members were Frankie Valli's legendary Four Seasons, who were the Shondells with Tommy James, the guys who toured and recorded with Carly Simon, Cat Stevens, Barry Manilow, and Jim Croce. Call now for tickets before they sell out. You don't want to miss the Hitmen.
Uttermost. Unique name, unique company. The name Uttermost comes from the Bible, Acts chapter 1, verse 8. This verse expresses our personal beliefs to share God's word to the uttermost part of the earth. Our marketing plan is similar in that we work to sell our products to all parts of the earth. Uttermost was started in 1975 and is still family-owned today. We are now the largest wholesaler of decorative home furnishings in the United States. Our products include mirrors, art, clocks, decorative accessories, lamps, lighting fixtures, permanent botanicals, and accent furniture. We even have decorative dog beds. To learn more about Uttermost, visit our website at www.uttermost.com.
People have said that there's no way that Bojangles made from scratch biscuits could get any better. But that's before they put 2 thick slices of cheddar cheese inside their biscuits.
It's more cheese than biscuit.
This is ooey gooey goodness.
Ooey gooey.
Look, Dad has a cheese skirt.
Cheese skirt.
Yeah, the melted cheese looks like a skirt.
Come try the Cheddar Bow. Bojangles, it's Cheddar Bow time.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine. I hope you enjoyed that, let's say, preliminary to town council. It was almost that, and the town manager, very open, very willing to discuss. I made a point of thanking him and shaking his hand and telling him we appreciate the openness and the willingness to get into what's good for Rocky Mount. And I know I get in trouble sometimes, but there is absolutely no way that I could consider starting a meeting with a prayer as a problem. It's not a problem. Now, I realize there's other people that think differently, and I do not deny them. This is the United States of America, Virginia, Rocky Mount. We don't deny that or change that. But I know what I think. You know what you think. And I will only say one thing to that. Amen. Think about it. Now, I'm setting up the guy that's sitting here with me next to figure out what he's going to do. We are doing some discussion, some involvement, some work, some changes, some potential wonderfulness. We are looking at Cable 12. And yes. Cable 12, your neighborhood network, has been for many years, and just a wonderful connection for the world as we know the world. And like everything else, you have needs and things have to change and grow. And we want to do that for the better. So Andre Perry is graciously jumped in, and we've got it's time to let everybody know a little bit about what's going on. Is that a fair? I don't know. We didn't rehearse this at all, but I've been listening. I have not been into it, except to say that this can only be classified as a love that Dick Shoemaker has for the people, the place, and what Cable 12 is all about. And if you ask me, anything that is needed is a good thing. I can't say it. You know me. I've been in this community for a long time, and I have done a few things in here, ran a pretty fair bank in this community. I am very much behind this, very strong with making it better, bigger, and not lose the fact that it is your hometown station. Now, having said that, I'm going to dump it on you right now. And if I haven't said something good or right, you got to undo. If I've said what is about the way you might feel, embellish upon it, please, sir, if you will. And thank you. This is a very good friend. He's a man of God. He is a veteran. He's got what I would call the credentials of a fine person and somebody that is good to be in our community. Andre Perry, and I mean that sincerely, sir.
Well, I appreciate that, and I kind of know you feel that way because we have such a good time together.
Yep, we do.
We really do. And we're going to have a good time with this. We introduced to the community the idea in the fall, this past fall, that Cable 12 has been operating kind of what we call the analog mode of operation and done very well for over 23 years. And we kind of calculated your volunteer time because we figure you're one of the key volunteers. Over 3,600 shows on Cable 12. You're talking about a commitment. I mean, I know it's hard for you to.
I don't even believe that. Wow.
Well, you haven't been counting because you've been having a good time, and it's become a integral part of who Dick Shoemaker is.
And you love it, you like it, and you know that it has a very positive impact.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And so in my participation, I've got around 7 years in and around the station, and I spent a lot of time out here when I was in Boy Scouts informing the community of what's going on. I know the value of what I call public access television, and this station has operated like a public access television station, even though it is really privately owned. However, Steve Oakes and his crew here, they have such a commitment to this community that I asked Steve the other day, I said, well, Steve, how much of your programming is really community programming? And we just have to guesstimate, but we figure around 80% of the programming on this station is free, public, community service concepts shared to the community so they can be more aware of what's going on. And you just shared what the town is going on. In fact, we're expecting the town to also help out in this venture down the road as well. But when we introduced this concept before, we told you that 23 years of service to Franklin County Public Schools, to Ferrum College, to all the 71 community organizations and agencies that have participated in using this station free to share their ideas. 71. I mean, that's incredible. That shows you that this station has a serious commitment to the community. So now, where are we now? We are at the point now where it is time for you, the community. This station has served you for over 23 years. And now we need you to help this station move to the next level. We're calling it the digital upgrade, because we're going to digital cameras, digital equipment, and I have an equipment list here now, and I think Tosh is going to put up on the screen.
It's there.
This is our wish list for what we'd like to do with Cable 12. In this wish list, you will see that there's lots of equipment on this list that we think will take the station to its new heights. However, we're not going to be able to get it all at one time unless we have some wonderful person out there in our community, and we know we do have that. We have those people out there that would just drop, as you can see, about $150,000 on Cable 12. And if they were to do that, here's what we would do. We would purchase all this equipment, these digital cameras, the recorder decks, the TriCasters, and all these things. We would even have enough money in here to build a new studio. So you'd have a new operating area to operate in, and also buy a van. Now, when we introduced this concept to you back in November, we didn't need the van right then. The van was running. Today, I mean right now today, we are in need of a van here at Cable 12. The van died.
After 386,000 miles.
Yes, 400.
486. That's right. I knew that.
Isn't that incredible?
Here.
That van had an extra life as it was to go 486,000 miles. 409,000 miles. I mean, that was incredible. I always said that when we were talking about this last fall, the van is running on a prayer every day anyway. So here we are. The van finally died.
That's a nice thing that you say, because I have to inject. That's the way this place runs.
Yes.
On prayers.
Prayers, yes.
And that's the big, amazing plus. And I know you know that and you feel that. And so there is a connection there that's a very good connection. And we pray about that a lot. All right.
So
equipment list. You used a word that I was going to ask you about. This is in order to really be able to continue to stay, continue to grow, continue to do what we do.
Yes.
This is that word that I'm looking at is necessary?
It is absolutely necessary, and I asked Steve and the crew here to prioritize. If we could buy the equipment, and suppose we had to buy it in stages. In stage one, what would be the highest priority equipment that you would need to start with? And then we would progressively add to it as we roll along. The very first thing on the list was the video server, which I have in red there, the video server. That video server will immediately have an impact on how the station operates, because they have a lot of decks back here, individual decks, CD decks that go into a system so that they can run all these different programs during the day, and especially probably during the weekends. And they can automatically program to kick in and provide the programming.
So if anybody has an Ultra Nexus video server,
yes, could you donate it?
Bring it to us. Yeah, you look at this. This is just the normal, everyday thing that you would do to operate. And what I'm hearing is that this place has been in operation for all those years and doing it regardless. regardless. And it's now time to say, job well done.
Yes.
Job well done. Now, as a community, as a people, as an involved group of folks, there is a need to continue. And the continuation is going to be asking for some help.
We need help now.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now. No, that's a perfect segue to what do we need help with? The video server. Right now costs around $14,000, $15,000. And because the van died, we have an immediate need for a van. And we have the specifics, and the most specific thing about that is a van, a cargo type van that has 4-wheel drive. So it is a little unique, but think of all the places that these guys go. I mean, they go into places sometimes that you really need to have that 4-wheel, and they travel, well, basically all year round when the weather is not so good. So that 4-wheel drive is necessary.
Run at parades. They run on the 50-yard line at a football game, and they're out there getting to the baseball games. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an all over the county world as we know it. And then the unique side of it is that when we leave the county, we being you good folks, the van follows.
That's right.
And it brings back to the county what we're all involved in. And I'm using that advisedly, we. Okay, go ahead.
And so what we're asking help for today, we need your help to purchase, or if somebody wants to buy it, the video server. And right now we need a van. These two items would be the first two things that we need, and are asking our community to pitch in, give, donate, however. And that's our prayer today. Our prayer today is that we know that there is somebody out there that can help us with this problem and help us solve this problem and make this station a better station for our community. And the video server, 1, the van, number 2. Once we get that, we'll work on the rest. But right now, those are the 2 prayer requests that we have right now.
Wow. It's important. And Andre, I appreciate your involvement and what we're hearing here. But it's not just Andre, it's not just Steve, it's not just me and Kevin, and there's a lot of people that are interested, a lot of folks that are looking at this. People that remember being in a parade, people that remember being interviewed at halftime, people that remember some other part of how this has affected you in your hometown. It's unlike any other place on the face of the earth. Yeah, I know that's a bold statement, but I've been around for a year or two, and I feel very comfortable saying it. And the thing that makes it good is that it's your neighborhood network. That's been one of the reasons that I have been here all these years, because to be part of a neighborhood network and to do it in the fashion that it's done here. When you get the weather here, you get the weather accurately. You get somebody you know that's telling you the weather. When you get a football game here, you get somebody from Cable 12 standing there on the 50-yard line talking to the coach. It's done personally. It's done with part of you there. I can only endorse it completely and ask Andre, I thank you for your involvement. I didn't realize I was going to make a speech, but
I did.
I know. But that's it. I've said what I want to say this morning. Meet me on the street. Stop me. Ask me. If you have a question, tell me what you think. Andre's out and about, same thing. This is important, and I will say, Kevin, Jamie, Steve, and all the other people that you see when we do reporting, when we got somebody sitting on a basketball court or somebody out running a parade or doing something, think of those people. Ask them how good this is, and they're all going to say the same thing. We need some help, and I'm going to kick it back to Andre to conclude now. Are you ready to conclude?
I'm ready to conclude.
All right, go ahead.
Please help us. We have information. Call this station. We have created the Friends of Cable 12 Incorporated that is standing ready to receive whatever help and gifts and donations we can get right now. And our primary purpose is to acquire this video server and a van for the station, and that'll move us forward a big jump. And you may contact the station at the regular business number and show whatever interest you have, and Steve or myself, or maybe we'll even call on you we'll follow up with you and meet with you or whatever we need to do so that we can make this happen.
Well, everybody has my home phone number, and if they felt the need, call me.
Yes.
You know, I'm just an old guy that hangs around, but my feelings are very strong, and you know by now that I don't tell you anything it's not true. Have I? No, I don't. So I'm very much in favor and very supportive of 20 years I've been doing this. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't believe in it. I love this place and these people. And your name again? Andre is irascible as they come, but a very dear friend, and strength he just carries with him as a veteran, as a scout leader, as anything good that you can do in a community. This man's been involved in it, and I am very much pleased and very impressed that he has thrown himself behind this. United Way, you name it, anything that's been needed in the community, this man works on it. And he's not making a financial killing. Sure, you got to make a living, but you throw yourself behind what's good. So if you see Andre, tell him thank you, but more importantly, tell him you'll help.
Yes.
And what else?
No, that's really the bottom line.
Okay.
I'm doing this for the same reason you have been doing it for so many years. I just love this station. Mm-hmm. I just love what it does for this community. And I would like to see it grow to the next level so that it can continue to do this for many, many, many years to come. So I'm standing right behind you, and I believe you're standing right behind me. Yep. And what we're saying is just help us, and we'll make this better for you and our community.
Amen. Well said. That's probably, maybe you're aware of it, or maybe that's the first time you heard about it, but good. Let it soak in. Let us know. Let Andre know. Andre is going to be out there and ready to talk and deal, so we need some help. And meanwhile, same place, same time, same stuff. Yep, we're going to go on. As a matter of fact, in a minute, you're going to get Jamie to give you the weather report. Somebody has to take the thanks for what we just are experiencing with our weather, and I'm willing to thank Jamie. Jamie's been doing it for 10, 15 years on this station.
That's right.
When he was in high school, junior high school. So that's the nature of what we do, and it's really good. It's really good. So it makes it further worthwhile. You got a last word for today?
I mean, what else can I say? you guys are fantastic.
Thank you.
I love it out here.
It's 9 o'clock. We're going to end for today. You heard it here. Good talk with the town manager. Good information that goes out, and it's all done with a good heart, because we love this place and you. So let's just keep on going. Now, I'll be back Wednesday. What is today? Today's Monday. I'll be back Wednesday. I got lost there for a minute, but hope you enjoy it. We're just looking for a little bit of support now, a little bit of help. Okay? If all goes well, I'll see you again next time, and God bless you.
When it's time to celebrate the life of someone special, turn to Connor Bowman Funeral Home. With 2 full-service facilities, we offer professional care and service to our community. 100% owned and operated, offering you the traditional historical Lynch Connor Bowman and Franklin County's most modern and newest facility on 220 North. We can assist you with pre-arranged funerals, and we house an on-site crematory. We can come to your home to make arrangements and pre-arrangements. We offer the release of 1 white dove, 1 memorial video, and video of the service if held in one of our chapels at no cost to you. Connor Bowman Funeral Home, Rocky Mount and 220 North.
Hey, Southwest Virginia, look who's playing in Rocky Mount at the Harvester Performance Center, March the 19th. It's the Oak Ridge Boys. Purchase your tickets online to see your favorite bands. The Harvester Performance Center in Rocky Mount has an exceptional lineup of music. Purchase your tickets online at harvester-music.com or call 540-GUITARS.
It's Bo time at Bojangles. We can't reveal what makes our roasted chicken bites so good, but we can tell you that each one is marinated in awesome. Head to Bojangles now and pick up some roasted chicken bites. Marinated, oven-roasted, bite-sized, boneless chicken, seasoned to perfection the way only Bojangles can. Grab a roasted chicken bites combo and you'll get a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, your choice of a fixin' and a drink. The roasted chicken bites combo, now just $5. Bojangles, it's Bo time.
I'm a real Chantel customer.
This is my real sister.
This is my real treehouse.
This is my real mower.
This is my real Chantel internet.
This is my real Chantel phone.
This is my real big screen TV.
This is my real big wrench.
I'm a real Chantel customer.
This is a real good video.
I'm real pregnant.
We're a real Chantel family.
Real value for real life. From the one provider that calls this place home.
We know that there are many options when choosing a healthcare provider for you and your loved one. When your help at home is not enough and you're looking for intense rehab services that home does not offer. At Trinity Mission Health and Rehab of Rocky Mount, our goal is to provide quality health care and skilled services to individuals admitted to our facility. Our primary services include nursing services, short-term specialized therapy, which is offered for Medicare as well as Medicaid recipients, respite, bariatric care, as well as long-term care for you and your loved one. We provide physicians coverage by our medical director, Dr. Robert Strong, including an on-site geriatric nurse practitioner as part of that team. In addition to our goal for quality care, Trinity Mission Health and Rehab of Rocky Mount provides a home-like atmosphere for residents to enjoy amenities like in-house movie theater, spacious game room, Wi-Fi, cable, fine dining, as well as private dining. This and many other things are offered at Trinity Mission Health and Rehab of Rocky Mount, where we are serving the needs of our community one patient at a time.
People have said that there's no way that Bojangles made-from-scratch biscuits could get any better. But that's before they put 2 thick slices of cheddar cheese inside their biscuits.
It's more cheese than biscuit.
This is ooey gooey goodness.
Ooey gooey.
Look, Dad has a cheese skirt.
Cheese skirt.
Yeah, the melted cheese looks like a skirt.
Come try the Cheddar Bow. Bojangles, it's Cheddar Bow time.